Motivation doesn't fail you. You do. You don't wake up one morning and suddenly feel lazy for no reason. You feel lazy because your brain is wired to resist what it already knows is uncomfortable. Motivation never disappears on its own. It fades the moment your mind meets resistance. And resistance is everywhere. Every habit you try to start, every goal you set, every attempt to improve yourself hits an invisible wall. And that wall is not outside of you. It's inside. It's the part of your mind that prioritizes comfort over progress. That's why motivation is never enough. It's not a flaw in you. It's a signal. It's your mind saying, I know the cost of what you're trying to do, and I want to avoid it. Most people think motivation is about energy or inspiration or some mystical drive that appears when the stars align. But that's a lie we tell ourselves. Motivation is temporary. It is fickle. It works only when your brain perceives immediate reward and low risk. The moment the reward feels distant or the risk feels real, motivation fades like smoke in the wind. And yet, most advice on self-improvement tells you to just stay motivated. That's useless. Motivation alone never solves anything. Understanding why it fades is the only way to make it irrelevant. Here's the truth. Motivation fades because you haven't created a system. Systems don't rely on feelings. Systems don't negotiate. Systems act regardless of how you feel. If your life depends on moments of motivation, you are designing a life that fails. Think about it. The most successful people don't wait to feel motivated. They act anyway, again and again. They show up when they don't want to. They push forward when their brain screams stop. That is why they win. That is why ordinary people stay stuck. The second reason motivation fades is fear disguised as procrastination. You know that feeling when you put off something, even though it's important? That's fear. Fear doesn't scream, it whispers. It disguises itself as laziness, tiredness, or not ready yet. Your mind tells you, just one more day, it's fine. And every time you listen, you train yourself to avoid discomfort. The more you train avoidance, the faster motivation disappears. The less motivated you feel, the more you avoid. It's a vicious cycle that most people never break. And here's what no one tells you. Motivation fades because you're still chasing outcomes instead of identity. You focus on what you want to achieve, not who you need to become. Goals are fragile. They can be delayed, interrupted, or stolen. But the person you become through consistent action is permanent. That's why identity-based habits are stronger than motivation. You don't need to feel motivated to be the person who acts. You just act, and the identity follows. That's how you build resilience that lasts. Let's break down what you can do immediately. First, stop chasing motivation. Stop expecting your feelings to align with your goals. Accept that discomfort is part of every meaningful action. The longer you wait for the right mood, the further you drift from what matters. Second, create systems. Small, repeatable, daily actions that move you toward the life you want, regardless of how you feel. Systems neutralize the dependency on fleeting motivation. Third, confront fear disguised as procrastination. Name it, see it, and act in spite of it. Every time you do, your brain learns that discomfort is safe. Every time you do, motivation becomes optional, not necessary. Here is something to observe. The reason most people fail to act is not lack of knowledge, not lack of skill, not even lack of desire. It is lack of consistency. Motivation is unreliable. Consistency is permanent. The people you admire don't feel motivated every day. They act consistently anyway. And that's why they create results that look effortless to the outside world. But on the inside, They built an unshakable foundation that no fading feeling can disrupt. And now, the final truth. Every time you rely on motivation, you surrender control. You let your feelings decide your actions. But feelings are fleeting, manipulative, and often wrong. Action is honest. Action is hell. Action doesn't wait. Action doesn't ask for permission. If you take nothing else from this video, remember, this mastery over motivation doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from designing your life so that motivation isn't needed. You act because your identity, your habits, and your systems compel you to, not because your mind feels like it. Here's what I want you to do after this video. Identify one area in your life where you rely solely on motivation. One habit, one project, one decision. Then create a small system or ritual that forces you to act regardless of how you feel. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now, take the first step today and keep going. The more you act, the less your brain can sabotage you. The more your brain can sabotage you, the less you need motivation. And the loop finally breaks. Motivation is temporary, fragile, and fleeting. Systems are permanent, consistent, and unstoppable. Don't let your life depend on how you feel. Build the life that doesn't. Act when it's uncomfortable. Act when your brain resists. That's how ordinary people become extraordinary. That's how you stop chasing motivation and start creating results. That's how you stop waiting and start winning. Your mind is unbreakable. But if you train it,